Namaste, my dear friends. We are now in the third video on the beautiful topic of mantras, and today we are going to explore about how to practice mantras on a daily basis. We are assuming that mantras are already initiated, which is the video we did last time, and once initiated by the Acharya, the student has to practice these mantras every day in their own homes. So normally there are certain things that we have to follow when practicing mantras. First and foremost, we have to respect the procedure that has been taught by our teacher, what is called mantra vidhi, which will include what is called the invocatory prayers that are done to honor the previous teachers, not only to respect them and remember them, but also to seek their permission in order to do the mantra practice, because the mantra, even though it is initiated to us, it does not belong to us. So it starts with what is called prarthana, the preparatory prayers, the invocatory prayers. Then comes a set of procedures that are called samskara, where we prepare body and breath through practices like asana and pranayama, so that while practicing the mantra, our body and mind does not become a distraction. Then comes the sankalpa, where we use a sankalpa mudra and actually make a commitment to complete the mantra practice and not be interrupted in the middle. Then comes the invocatory nyasas and the preparatory nyasas, certain gestures that are also done with what we call the nyasa mantras, the appropriate nyasa mantras, which are very particular to that mantra that we have been initiated, that are very particular to the deity that is honored in the mantra. So there is a set of about 6 to 7 different nyasas depending on the mantra that we are using. After that will come the dhyana shloka, where we are meditating on the deity that this mantra is honoring. And then comes the actual mantra japa, where we are repeating the mantra a certain number of times as instructed by our acharya. While we are doing that, we are visualizing the deity that this mantra represents. Once that is completed, we have a few moments of silent reflection, silence in our hearts, silence in our minds, and silence in our words, so that we stay with this beautiful effect of the mantra practice that we have just done. After that, we will have to perform a set of mantras that honor the deity that we have just done the mantra japa to, in a way of gratitude to this deity for blessing us with whatever consequences will follow from the mantra practice. Further, we will have to do a set of gestures and a set of pranayama that are called the visarjana, so that we are slowly withdrawing from the mantra practice back to our daily life. After that, we conclude with certain bodily movements and certain mantras which would form what we call as sattvika tyaga, so that we are asking the divine for blessing us, that these blessings that we will receive from this practice is not only for us, but is also shared with our family and friends. So normally that's how the mantra is practiced. It is not that you are just casually practicing it anywhere. And that is where there are certain niyamas that also are part of the mantra practice, which include that we should practice mantra after we have had a bath, after we anoint certain holy auspicious marks that represent our tradition, such as this mark that I have on my forehead, which is a similar mark you will find on my grandfather's forehead, because we belong to the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And also choosing an appropriate place and time for the mantra practice. We don't just do mantra anywhere. But also we have to follow certain dietary restrictions, like we must not consume any intoxicants like alcohol or take drugs, etc. And also, whenever we are initiated into spiritual mantras, we may also be required to avoid any flesh, any form of meat, which includes not just red meat but also other forms of animal flesh, which includes things like fish and seafood, etc., birds. This is also something that is very important part of classical mantra practice. So we have to follow certain niyamas as well if we have to practice the mantras in our spiritual journey. So this is how we have to practice mantra. This is some idea for the mantra practice, but of course, when you are initiated into your mantra, your acharya will instruct you on all these specific procedures that are pertaining to you, especially taking into consideration your family tradition as well as the mantra that you will be initiated to. Namaste, my dear friends. Namaste, my dear friends. I am Kausthub Desikachar of the Viniyoga tradition, and if you have come to this point of our video, it means that you have enjoyed our videos. And if you would like to support us even more by clicking the subscribe button and also clicking on the bell notifications icon, then you will give us a wonderful sign that you are interested, that we keep continuing to make such remarkable videos and share with you, so that this knowledge can spread all across humanity for the benefit of humanity. In this moment where we are in history, we are in an important time where sharing such sacred and precious knowledge becomes very, very useful, and that is what motivates us to keep doing this every week. And we really hope that you enjoy watching this, and please feel free to share it with your friends, share it in your circles, so that many, many people can benefit from this. We love you, our fans, our students and our friends, and we look forward to seeing you in yet another video of our channel. Namaste.